Steve Matthews, Pentagram Motorsport. Just want to show you what I've been up to this weekend. This is the Mk3 Golf GTI that we have, run out edition, Black Magic Pearl. Nice car. It was very cheap, and it's a bit of a hoot. The only problem with it is gear linkage is sloppy, and more importantly, the clutch is absolutely burned out. It's done 208,000 miles though, so you can kind of forgive it that. I'm looking at the clutch plate, it may be the original one. So what I've had to do, you can see the engine's at a funny angle there. So it's actually sitting on a support at the bottom, because you actually have to disconnect the front engine mount, which goes through the starter motor, gearbox and engine. And the rear engine mount actually is only a gearbox mount. So there's it's supported by one mount in this corner, and then it's supported from underneath. Down here, there's no gearbox in the car at all. You can see right down the floor. Down the back here, this is the remains of the gear linkage that's on the car. There's also this bit here, which is the rear gearbox mount, which has part of the gear linkage attached to it there. And this thing, this big counterweight that hangs off the bottom of the subframe, that's a bit of a pain in the backside and has to be removed. And of course we've got the starter motor there. Down the bottom there you can sort of see some of the gearbox. Now if I show you the clutch, okay, so this is the clutch that I've removed from the car. I don't know how well you can see that, but all around here it's you can see loads of evidence of heat damage, and it is really thin compared to the new one, which is in the box here. Plate itself, friction plates, well, it's probably toast as well. These clutches actually are back to front compared to most clutches, but being as I deal with a lot of Volkswagens, to my mind it's the right way around. So this is actually bolted to the end of the crankshaft with these the 617mm bolts that sit in there. Over the top of that there's this little plate here, which assembles like, I can barely see that, let me give you some light on there. It assembles like that. So there's a big spring clip there, which is so that's the spring clip there, and then the plate sits inside this, which is the flywheel. So the clutch is inside the flywheel. I don't know if you can see the centre of that. There's a rod that comes out the gearbox. When you press the clutch pedal, it presses that, and I have actually seen, you can see there's a bit of wear in the centre of that. I have actually seen them wear all the way through before. So what we've got left to do, obviously, is refit the clutch pack. But also, I have this kit here. This is all of the bushings for the gear linkage. You can see all these little bits of bush here, so they sit over these little bits here. The whole thing was just incredibly sloppy. The whole thing was incredibly filthy as well. This is part of the gear linkage here, and I have these, because these are plastic, as the wear, they get bigger, they become oversized as the wear, and so you get a bit of slop induced. So it sits over the ball there, but it just ends up very sloppy. So hopefully get the clutch back on this and get the gear linkage sorted, and then we'll get it all back together and we can take it out and enjoy it. The only other thing that I've done is I got a little bit bored, and I started rubbing down the underside of the bonnet, so you can see there's a bit of a reflection in the paint under the bonnet. It's absolutely amazing once it's cleaned up. So at some point I will clean up. You can see the top of the wing there as well. That's where I cleaned that off. And the strut top cleaned the bit of that. I will clean up the whole of the engine bay, and hopefully get some real shine on that the bonnet and what have you, and it should look the business. So as the clutch comes back on and what have you, and it should be a great car again. really can't wait. Oh, the other thing I've got to do, going to throw a timing belt on it just for safety's sake, because I don't know when it was last done.